Good morning, welcome back to casa.texpina. It's Friday. We're on build day number 183 today. Guys are still continuing with ceiling installation. We're still doing doors, getting doors prepped for trimming. They're trimming the doors, getting them prepped to hang. They will take them back off later, and the varnishers will be taking care of them from there. The electricians are still pulling wires, and our tilers are tiling away in both the master bath still and the bedroom 2 and 3, the Jack and Jill lavatories. On the outside, we've got two of our painters out here, well, a painter and one of our carpenters, doing the exterior wall cladding paint that we showed you yesterday. And that's where everybody's at this morning. So we're going to walk around, show you where everybody's at. So let's get started. All right, another beautiful Friday morning. We're gonna get started, go ahead and show you where everybody's at today. We've got, as I mentioned in the intro, Mr. Wilson over here doing the painting. Like we said yesterday, the first coat is the primer slash sealer for the concrete. Second coat will be the same as the bucket that they're using here for height, which is the Boysen 701. It's a permacoat. And then the third coat will be what Mr. Ricky is doing way over here on the other side, which is the elastomeric waterproofing paint. And that's what's being done up here. That's going to be the nice gold color. So he's working his way down and through. So we're going to end up with 3 layers of paint on each of these boards. Should be good for making sure that we don't have any water going into the house that direction. Out here on the front, Miss Emie is in deep conversation with Mr. Andy, one of our varnishers, making sure that we all understand how this varnishing process works. Mr. Wilson was so nice to describe for us yesterday. This is Mr. Henry, his assistant, also doing lots of sanding and prepping. Our ceiling installers, Mr. Archie and crew, are continuing with drywall ceiling installation here, and in the hallway there's some other areas, and they're going to start working their way back through the kitchen area. Let's go ahead and take a look in here into the master bath and master bedroom. In the master bath, Mr. Jojo is continuing with the tile installation in the throne room, slowly but surely. And over here, Mr. Carlito is poking a hole through the wall. Why, you ask? Because we have a whirlpool tub going in that area, and the motor is on the back. Motor's right here. So this motor needs to have access so we can work on it if need be. So they're breaking a hole through the wall. We're going to have a louvered vent on the outside that's going to be locked tight so that we don't have any problems with anything in there. Also back here, Mr. Gel and Mr. Ricky, JR are going to start doing the mud and tape here in the master bedroom. So that's what they're getting ready to start working on as we cruise our way through the rest of the building. Let's go ahead and take a look. Coming into the kitchen area, Mr. Alex is here in the dirty kitchen, or he was. He skipped out on me. They're continuing to work on the shelving, going the rest of the way through here in the dirty kitchen area. All right, let's go ahead and come on back into the back side of the house. Like I said, Mr. JR is wrapping up in here and getting ready to move over to the master bedroom area. Back in the bedroom 2, we're using this area as a staging area. Mr. Allen and Mr. Purdy are continuing with trimming the doors so that we can get them all hung. Oh yes, very nice. Very nice. Good size. So now all they got to do is when it's time, the varnishers will come through, take these off the hinges, and go do their job and get them ready for paint and varnish. Not paint, but varnish. And here in the Jack and Jill bedroom 2 and 3 lavatory, Mr. Willie is putting in the trim that you see right here. It's a finishing piece for the tiling. Okay. Let's go see what's being done upstairs. Upstairs, we've got a full crew. Mr. Gabby and Mr. Jason are assisting the foreman as we start installing floor tiles. Okay, so we're going to show you this in depth here momentarily. Let's go see what people are doing downstairs. Okay, also out on the back side of the house, Mr. Rafi is continuing with the sanding job on all of the exterior walls. So he's started out to where he's far enough ahead of Mr. Wilson and Mr. Ricky that are on the other side of the house, and he's gonna continue working his way around this way, so that when they get over here, the wall's ready for paint. And here in the garage area, the electricians are continuing to pull wire. And they're starting to pull wire now around all the exterior perimeter fence area. So we've got several outlets and also pulling wire for the lights at the top. All right, so we're going to get started here. He's got what they call grout. It's basically just cementous water. It's a cement mixed with water, high amount of water and the cement mixture together. It helps the dry pack cement adhere to the cement flooring. Starts that creation of that bond level here at the bottom. The next step following this will be Mr. Jason over here in the bucket, with the bucket, bringing over the dry pack cement. So they'll spread it in, dump it in the place. The foreman here will take his trowel and push it all in, make sure that it's level with the string line that they've put up, spread some more out, and they'll continue this the rest of the way down the row there of tiles. Another bucket and continuing all the way down. So my gentlemen here, Mr. Gabby and Mr. Jason, are continuing to mix the dry pack. I was just talking with Mr. Gabby and he's telling me the mixture that they're using. So we've got 12 bags of vibro sand, so very fine grained sand, and 2 bags of cement. And it makes a large section, so that, and very little water. So they just use like maybe a cup of water, 2 cups of water. It's really by eye, by feel. So it's still very dry. The next thing they use is the cement, the liquid cement here. They call it grout. It's basically a liquid cement. The mixture they're using here is 5 buckets, 5 of these little buckets of cement powder, and then about a quarter of the bucket full of water. So they mix that all up and you get it all up, and you see the consistency here is really basically just muddy water, but it works and it acts like a glue, and that's what they put underneath the tile. They use this for both the first layer that they put down, which is just the grout on the concrete. Then they come back and they put the dry pack over the top of that. They dry set the tiles that they're going to do, just to get the dry pack settled down where it needs to be, compacted where it needs to be. Then they take the tiles back off, set it over to the side, and they will start pouring in the grout, they call it grout, for each tile one at a time. And then he'll start pounding it in with a hammer and checking it with a level and his fingers the whole time as he's going through. So I'll show you this again on the next line that he gets ready to do here momentarily. Okay, so first step after they've got the dry pack all settled for the whole row, comes back and they do a dry fit for the whole row of tiles. So pats it down in place. That helps compact the dry pack in the location. Using a level, make sure it's all good. That's for the tile itself, and he also does the fingers across the joints to make sure we're on an even keel. So he'll do this 3 more times, and then he'll take these all off and put the grout in place. Now I'm telling you, today is rare because my foreman doesn't like being on camera. I'm going to pass along a little secret we found out the other day, of course watching other YouTubes. When they're putting in the tiles in place, you always wonder, how do they know which way it goes? If you look closely on the bottom, they'll have these little arrows. If you line all the arrows up in the same direction, you'll get the pattern that's supposed to be there. And they do have different ways of doing it. But primarily the main way they intended, the manufacturer intended, is that these arrows all point in the same direction. So you look at the bottom of the tile and you'll see the arrows pointing which way to go. Okay, so next step, he's taking the pieces off after he's had them compacted into place, and he's now putting in the grout. So remember I was telling you what that grout cementuous mix is. And basically just liquid cement, and he'll get that all put in place, and he'll place those 2 tiles. So it looks like he's going to try and start in the middle first and then hit the one out here on the outside later. So let's watch and see. Alright, so we're moving along on the tile up here in the media room. This was just since this morning. So, moving along very well. Alright, we'll come back and take a look at this in the latter part of the day and see how much further he's progressed. Alright, so right here they're getting ready to get started on making their dry pack. This is 12 bags of sand right here that he's put on the floor. So it's 12 of these bags on the floor there. He's going to add in a little bit of water. I say a little bit, as he proceeds to add 1 bucket, 2 buckets. Well, actually it's not full buckets, these are half buckets of water each. So by the time he gets done, he's added in probably about 6 or 7 gallons of water. Very scientific method here of checking the moisture content. He'll take his slippers off, throw his toe in the bottom. There they go again, and that's apparently they know the feel of what the moisture content is supposed to be for the dry pack. So they check it out, make sure it's good, and add in 2 bags of cement. So they'll rip these open, throw them in, and start mixing it up here momentarily. Willie over here in the kitchen area is running our duct line for the exhaust fan from the range hood here. So we're going to have the range hood exhaust here, and this is the pipe that they're going to use to run it out to the outside of the house, up and over. So working on the mud and tape here in the master bedroom. Well, our ceiling guys have gone home for the afternoon. Apparently they ran out of board. So out of gypsum board for now. So we hope to see them back tomorrow with another shipment of gypsum board. In the interim, since I'm sitting here in the middle of the kitchen, I was showing you guys earlier the exhaust vent for the range hood is basically a 4-inch pipe. It's a 4-inch PVC. It goes up, around, coming through here. So there are no holes in the walls with the exception of this little piece to inset it. But this is not a load-bearing wall anyway. So all the load bearing is on the columns here on the sides. So this is here. It's going to come up. Mr. Willie here is getting ready to do a little creative plumbing with the vent stack, and we're going to take it and wrap it over the top of the wall here and dump it right out here to where it'll exhaust out through the spandrel ceiling just above the back patio. So when you're outside enjoying the view of our beautiful backyard, you'll be able to smell when the food's getting close to getting ready. Let's go see what's going on here in the dirty kitchen. Mr. Alex is still working on some more cabinetry here. We're moving along, working on the fine details. Let that old planer go to town. Smooth, flush, level, nice. Okay, let's go see where everybody else is at. So here in the office area, Mr. Joe is getting started on the mud and tape. So that tells me they should be just about wrapped up in the master bedroom then. Also here in the office, Mr. Allen is doing a little bit more trimming on our office doors, so for the 2 French doors that go here. So we'll take a look at those a little bit later. And back here, well, I'm not going much further than am I? That's good. I can watch from here. Mr. JR is doing some more mud and tape. Just about walking his way out of the master bedroom. All right, and then the throne room. Mr. Jojo is almost up to height. I think we've got just this little bit right here to wrap up on. So he's still working that way. All right, let's take a look and see what our floor tiles are looking like up here in the media room. Oh, it's getting big. Looking nice. What you think? What you think? We're getting there. Galing! Alright, so we're still working on some of the primer coat on the paint. So this is the primer and sealer for the concrete paint. Our gentleman out here in the front is still sanding away. We got lots of doors, so there's lots of sanding. And all the way over here on the side, there comes Mr. Ricky. He's been over there sanding in the heat all afternoon. Excuse me. Yep, so he's been sanding this whole side over here. So this will be ready for paint tomorrow. All right, we got the French doors trimmed to where they close. Look at this. Nice. Close the first one. Close the second one. Very smooth. All right. And our guys are still inside doing mud and tape. Alright, so we're getting ready to wrap up. Yabba dabba doo! It's time to go home. Another successful Friday. Another successful day at the office. So today we did a good overview of dry pack floor tiling method. This is the way that I've seen it done here. I've never seen it done anywhere else like this, but this was the first time I'd seen it done that way. Here in the Philippines is the only place I've ever seen it. And so wanted to make sure y'all saw that. It is a little different, so they put the grout down on the bottom, put the dry pack, put the grout again, tap it all in, it's good to go. So if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here, and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow for Saturday, have a great afternoon and God bless.